Hello you wonderful 44 subscribers. Today I'm just going to show you my little mini sluice that I made here and set up. Very straightforward, just a piece of aluminium tin or aluminum tin. Just a flat piece there. It's a piece from a building supply. Can't remember what the name of it is, but just an inch high and about 5-6 inches wide. So at the bottom here I've just got these little brackets here just to keep the water from flowing down the sides. And that's just flowing into a little tub there underneath. Pours out on the back. And I've just got that in place by the pan at the bottom, just keeping it up, and a rubber band just holding it up from slipping back down. And that is the main setup there. A little pump coming up through to the very end of the sluice here. And it's just pumping out there. A little piece of wood there, just to stop the air bubbles going down and just to flatten down the water a little bit. And what I've done, very simple contraption, just a lid, cut a hole in the front just to allow a little bit of water in there to circulate the material. And just a very small hole there at the back that lets the material flow through. And it just does it self-flowing very slowly. So there's not an awful lot to show you right now. A couple of little shiny sparkly bits, but it should all be in here, and eventually it should all get cleared out. There we go. So I thought I'd just come down and show you my little setup just for crushing down my ore and testing. Unfortunately I don't have a smelter yet, so I still can't do the sort of the fire assay testing of it. That's the first bunch of ore that I'm testing. This is the second one. Okay, and down here, this one I just got to finish crushing up. I don't think there's going to be anything much to the value of it. You see the malachite on there, the purple staining, that's the copper. Just in there. There's a fair few pieces of chalcopyrite on there. So I'll show them the light. It's almost like a specimen, unfortunately. No gold, I don't think. Maybe a little bit locked up in the red here. So I'll show you. This is a piece of copper piping that obviously once it gets to the oxygen and water, it starts to oxidize and it gives that purpley metallic coppery look, kind of like the rock. Kind of cool. And moving on to this rock yellow. This is the one I had in my previous video that I found on one of my hikes up there in BC. So I'm going to crush down this one today. This guy here, this thing here, with that on my head there, and then I'll show you what I've got. I did do a very small sample, and I got a very small minute piece of gold out of it, so I wonder what's in there. This here I'm thinking is cinnabar, not 100% sure. So got this one up in Forester Creek, I believe. I'd have to double check that. That one looked like cinnabar to me, so I got a couple of the samples just up on the side of the mountain that it seemed to be coming out from. This is all just the finer pieces that I was finding. Kind of cool. I just had some bigger chunks under there that I put in a separate container. Scales for weighing. So here are a couple of other samples I've got from other different locations. I've got to get them tested. I'll get there eventually, but quite interesting looking. This one was obviously river worn because it was so rounded. And then this guy here, another nice sparkly one. This guy here, nothing much to this one. It's kind of similar to the rest of them. Very oxidized. Interesting to say the least. I do like my rocks. pyrite in there. Sorry about the light. Cool. Nothing much there. It's more mica. More of a schist rock, this one. Anyway, I'm gonna put this on, start crushing, and I'll show you what I get out of it.
Yeah, so this is so far. Just gonna do one more pass, get it a bit less chunky. I'll show you what I got after.
Okay, so not perfect, but I'm going to take this little sample now, classify it, weigh up maybe 10 grams or so, and see what I can get. Show you when I got it. So I've got my 10-gram sample just of here. I'm going to go pan that out now from this. Sorry, the light's terrible. Let's see if there's anything in it. Alright, I'll be back in a sec. So here are the heavies of that 10-gram sample I had there. Looks great, but it's just pyrite, I'm swearing. I've got no idea how to see the difference. Obviously pyrite doesn't move away from the top like that, but I'll keep panning down. I'll show you what I've got here. Maybe a little flake at the end, or not a flake, but a speck. I don't know how much gets locked up in the pyrite. And I haven't got the means of roasting it right now. Looks like there might be one little bit, maybe two. Either way, 10-gram sample, I wouldn't be able to weigh that up and do any math, so interesting though. So I chucked the rest in. I'm just going to pan the whole lot. I got a bit of jet dry in there as surfactant. So that should keep the pyrite from floating in the gold and whatnot. So I'll get this all wet down and I'll pan it down. Show you in a bit. Is any of that gold?